actually a little shocked that it is not higher on my list. I love Christopher Nolan. I love the whole Dark Knight trilogy. This should be higher on my list, but the effects and the promotion seem like they might be a little bit much for my tastes. I love Cillian Murphy. I love the whole cast that have lined up. Both of us live in Nevada, so we have the Nevada test site connection to Oppenheimer. The story of J. Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb that ended World War II. I'm a little surprised that it's not higher on my list, and I can't pinpoint something as to exactly why, other than the CGI and the effects look like they're trying a little bit too hard. Maybe it reminds me a little bit too much of Indiana Jones 4, The Crystal Skull. That's possibly it, but I love Cillian Murphy, I love this cast, and I love Christopher Nolan, so Oppenheimer comes in at number 14 on my list.
Cool. Well, not to spoil anything, but it is notably higher on my list. I guess I'll just save my thoughts for a few minutes from now.
It is much higher on your list. Are you surprised that it's not higher on my list?
Uh, Once I see what is higher on your list, then maybe I'll have some words about it. But
Good
maybe
point.
yeah, but yeah, a little surprised. Yeah.
Good point. Oppenheimer, J. Robert Oppenheimer, biopic, Christopher Nolan, Cillian Murphy, go.
Well, first of all, Christopher Nolan, pretty much anything he puts out, I'm gonna go see regardless of the source material. But it is interesting though, because he's doing a biopic about, the career of the atomic bomb and everything that goes down with that, and, couple that with his very large scale auteur blockbuster style. Just those elements coming together just lend itself to a very interesting idea. Also, the cast is completely stacked with Cillian Murphy, even Robert Downey Jr.'s in there, Matt Damon, Josh Peck of all people, who is somebody I'm definitely excited to see in there. And also, he likes shooting on actual real IMAX cameras with 70 millimeter films. So those are, you don't get a lot of those because it's extremely expensive to film on. So it's usually pretty special when that happens. And from what I've heard, somehow they practically recreated the atomic bomb blast. I don't know how they pulled that off, or that could just be complete BS, but either way, I need to go see how they pull it off. And yeah, in Nolan we trust.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And if they were able to do this practically, Nolan did so much of the Dark Knight Batman trilogy. He did practically in camera with models, and there was the shot in the Dark Knight where they actually imploded the building as the Joker was walking out and gets on the bus and they drive away. Is just it's freaking amazing what Christopher Nolan does. So yeah, if they did all or part or even a hybrid approach to the nuclear explosions of the A-bomb going off and the testing and all that kind of stuff, practically out in the desert somewhere, that wouldn't surprise me at all. That it also kind of interesting is they've had a rotating website up where it's constantly playing the trailer for Oppenheimer for like 3 or 4 months now. And if you go to this website for the Oppenheimer movie, it's constantly playing the trailer for Oppenheimer, and it has an up to the second countdown for the film coming out, and it'll say like even a couple months ago it said like 4 months, 13 days, and 5 minutes. So there's a lot of promotion going into this film. I'm a little surprised that it's not higher on my list. I'm not shocked it's number 4 on your list, but this film looks amazing.